Hello students, a very good morning to one and all. Welcome to the next lecture of online theory class series of subject Novel Drug Delivery System. I am Mrs. Aarti Majumdar, Associate Professor from the Department of Pharmaceutics, Smriti College of Pharmaceutical Education, Indore. Dear students, in continuation of our discussion over nasopharyngeal pulmonary drug delivery system, so far we have studied about what are nasal drug delivery system, including various benefits of nasal drug delivery system and limitations of nasal drug delivery. We have also studied about anatomy and physiology of nasal tract, nasal route, along with various formulation approaches which are used to deliver drug through nasal drug delivery route. In today's session, we are going to discuss about what is pulmonary drug delivery, including various benefits of pulmonary drug delivery as compared to intravenous route, oral route, transdermal route of drug delivery. Today we are also going to discuss about anatomy and physiology of pulmonary route, respiratory route, and then later on we will also study about various formulation approaches which are used to deliver drug through pulmonary route. Now, starting with what is pulmonary drug delivery. So, when the drug is administered through inhalations through the respiratory route, then this is called as pulmonary drug delivery. Pulmonary drug delivery is primarily used to manage various pathological conditions by delivering drug, locally acting drug to the respiratory tract, such as in the management of asthma or in chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. So basically, pulmonary drug delivery system, they are primarily used for treating local pathologies, local condition, pathologic condition of lungs or respiratory tract. Various drugs which are delivered, such as antihistaminics for the in the management of asthma, for treating asthma, bronchodilators such as salbutamol, terbutaline, salbutamol is available. Inhalers are available in market under the brand name of Aspirin, then terbutaline, and then various other antibiotics are also like ciprofloxacin. They are also available in the form of dry powder inhalers. Now, various anti-inflammatory drugs are also available. So, these drugs, they need to be administered. The main aim of pulmonary drug delivery, delivery of drug through pulmonary route or respiratory route, is to target the drug at the site where the pharmacological action is required, thus lowering the total amount of drug required to produce required pharmacological effect, and accordingly this reduces the concentration of drug in systemic circulation, which further reduces various side effects of drug. Now, apart from administering drug for local action, pulmonary drug route, they are also suitable for the administration of certain drugs which show lower bioavailability through another route, such as gastrointestinal route or oral route. For example, proteins and peptides and other macromolecules, especially macromolecules which have molecular weight less than 40 kilodaltons. For example, insulin, which is having molecular weight of about 5.7 kilodalton. It shows that after inhalation, just after 15 to 16 minutes, within 15 to 16 minutes, proper therapeutic level of insulin are observed in blood. However, there are certain macromolecules which have molecular weight higher than even 40 kilodaltons. That, for example, alpha trypsin, it of about 50 kilodalton. It also absorbs slowly through respiratory tract. The Tmax of alpha-trypsin is found about 20 hours after inhalation. So, pulmonary drug delivery is also a suitable route for delivering drug for systemic effect, for systemic absorption. Now, because they are having certain advantages, first we must discuss about, we will discuss in short about the anatomy and physiology of respiratory tract. Basically, respiratory tract or pulmonary tract, this is divided into two regions. First is conducting airways and second is respiratory region. Conducting airways include region starting from the nasal cavity where there are sinuses are present, air sinuses are present. So, nasal cavity including nasopharynx, oropharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi and bronchioles. So, this constitute the conducting airway region of respiratory tract. Then another region is called as the respiratory region. This respiratory region, it includes respiratory bronchioles which are at the end, which are connected to this alveolar ducts. So bronchioles, respiratory bronchioles, then alveolar duct and alveolar sac. So this is respiratory region. It is this region which is majorly responsible for the drug absorption to systemic circulation. Now, in the upper tract, drug transport, it is quite limited because of the limited surface area and lower regional blood flow. However, smaller airways, these bronchi and bronchioles, along with respiratory region, alveolar duct and alveolar sac, it is responsible for 95% of the lung surface area and it is directly connected to the systemic circulation by thin alveolar membrane, thin alveolar cell membrane of thickness about 0.2 to 0.7 micrometer. Now, it is this place, the membrane, alveolar vascular membrane, where the drug absorption into the systemic circulation takes place. Now, pores and tight junction in alveolar and endothelial cell, which is called as alveolar vascular membrane, it governs the transepithelial drug transport through pulmonary route. Now, this pulmonary route, it offers various benefits for the drug delivery, for delivery of drug, for the therapeutic effect of drug, better therapeutic effect of drug as compared to the other routes of drug delivery. So, for the local delivery, in management of situations of conditions such as asthma or chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, or in maintaining pulmonary arterial, in the treatment of pulmonary arterial hypertension, and even in the lung cancers, so these local delivery is required so that the drug is not, this is a form of drug targeting, so that the drug is required in minimum dose and it results in lesser side effects. Now, various benefits for the local delivery includes drug concentration, directly high drug concentration at target size. However, total dose, pulmonary dose is always less than as compared to the other dose. For example, salbutamol, it is having an oral dose of 2 to 4 milligrams. However, when it is given in as inhalation form, in the form of inhaler, the dose reduced to 100 to 200 microns. So, the total dose of drug is less and the drug concentration at the target size is found to be increased. So, better therapeutic effect and better bioavailability is obtained with the help of pulmonary route of drug administration. Then, rapid absorption and clinical response. Because drug is absorbed rapidly as the thickness of the barrier membrane, endothelial alveolar membrane, it is less, and it is rapid absorption occurs, and thus quick onset of action, rapid clinical responses observed after pulmonary route as compared to even nasal route also. Now, better therapeutic effect is achieved even at a fraction of systemic dose. For example, I explained you in case of salbutamol, oral dose is systemic oral dose of salbutamol is 2 to 4 mg a day, but when it is given in the inhaler form, when it is inhaled through pulmonary route, only 100 to 200 micrograms are required. Now, by delivering drug through this pulmonary route, it is possible to avoid first pass metabolism. So, and also this pulmonary route have low enzymatic load. So, this result in decreased enzymatic degradation of drug molecules. However, for the systemic delivery, pulmonary route also offers certain advantages for the systemic delivery of drugs as compared to the gastrointestinal route. Firstly, it is non-invasive and needle-free route. Simply the person has to inhale through the various devices. Maybe it is nebulizer or dry powder inhaler, or maybe metered dose inhaler. So it is non-invasive and needle-free route. Then a wide range of molecules can be administered, including from smaller molecule to macromolecules. They can be absorbed through pulmonary routes. Now, pulmonary route offer large surface area, which was a disadvantage or limitation in case of nasal route. It has a very limited surface area. Nasal route is having a very limited surface area. But in case of pulmonary route, the surface area, they have enormous surface area of about 100 meters square. Because each alveolar sac, it is having, there are about 200 to 600 alveolar sac are present in our pulmonary system, in this lungs. So this account for an increase, this present an enormous surface area of about 100 meters square, which result in high drug absorption and increased bioavailability. So large surface area about 100 meters square is available for drug absorption, and the membrane, which alveolar vascular membrane, endothelial membrane, they are highly permeable. The thickness of membrane is about just 0.2 to 0.7 micrometer. So according to Fick's first law of diffusion, the rate of diffusion will increases the rate of diffusion because the barrier thickness of membrane is less. Now, large molecule with slow absorption rate can also be absorbed because of slow mucociliary clearance. Here in pulmonary route, they have slow mucociliary absorbance. So macromolecule can slowly absorb over a period of many hours, up to 20 hours or more. It can be absorbed. It will not be cleared from the tract as it happens in nasal tract. Then reproducible absorption kinetics. Here, as pulmonary delivery, it is independent of dietary complication and extracellular enzyme. So, the person-to-person variability is less in case of pulmonary drug delivery routes.